Hello and welcome to ScotRock.
We're your hosts from Climb Scotland, Robert Mackenzie.
And me, Cal McBain, catch up with climbers every 2 weeks who have different epic tales to tell us.
We hope you enjoy the show.
And remember, when you're out climbing, be safe and do your buddy checks.
Hi everyone. Hello. Sorry, apologies for being late. I know, 2 months late with this episode. Apologies, but do not worry, we are back on ScotRock. Yes, we are back. I know we've had a little bit of a break off, a bit of time away, been busy with lots of other things, but I'm sure you guys will forgive me, my amazing audience. Thank you so much for sticking with us. But yeah, we are back and we have something a little bit different this time. This time we have ScotRock's first ever international interview. Yes, we went back to the days of interviewing someone over a Zoom call, but it seems to have worked out quite well. And we got a couple of awesome people from all the way in Virginia in the USA. And this is the youngest person we've ever had on the podcast. So definitely a step away from our norm this time. But yeah, this month on ScotRock, we have Sophia and her dad, David. Now, Sophia and her dad are kind of much like any climbing family. You know, they enjoy some time together. They try a few bits of different climbing, lots of indoor stuff, a few bits of outdoor stuff. But this isn't any normal climbing family. These guys have been having some pretty wild adventures together as dad and daughter. Enjoying something that they both really, really love. And Sophia's passion for this comes across straight away. You can tell that she just absolutely loves climbing and everything about it and all of the forms. She's just into it. However, some of their adventures are a little bit more, let's say, ambitious than most families might be. With some wild adventures for a 10-year-old. For sure, wild adventures. And Sophia she's an awesome little 10-year-old. Not only does she love climbing, she wants to go climbing for herself and with her family, but she wants to try and get as many kids into climbing and give them the same experience as she's got. She wants to work with organisations like the Boys and Girls Club in the USA to get disadvantaged kids into climbing and give them that experience. And she started a fundraiser to do that. She did a crazy adventure at the start of this year and is using that to kickstart this fundraiser. Now, this big adventure that they went and did, I'm not going to spoil it yet, but I saw the video on Facebook and I thought it was awesome, so inspiring. And then I found out how old she was, and it was even more inspiring. And then I found out why she was doing the whole thing, and it just blew my mind. Had to get this girl on. Super cool. So glad they agreed to sit down with me over a Zoom call and get this done. And in the description for this, I am going to put in a couple of links, including the video, so that you can see how wild this route looks. So yeah, go check it out. So yeah, please sit back, enjoy, be inspired by the next generation of little crusher that's coming across here, coming across the pond and sending all of our classic lines. I hope you enjoy this one. Let's hear from Sophia and her dad. Cool. So whereabouts are you guys?
Virginia.
Cool.
Yeah.
I have never been to Virginia. I was saying to your dad, I've got family in North Carolina, so not far from you guys.
Mm-hmm. It's Charlotte, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we were actually just in Charlotte last weekend.
Oh, really? What for?
Yeah.
Deep water solo climbing. It's where
What?
you climb above.
Yeah, it was above a pool. It wasn't. It was a man-made deep water solo.
I've seen this one. It's got it's like white and blue curvy walls and stuff. Oh,
yeah.
Man, that place looks sick.
Yeah,
How was it?
It was really, really fun.
What was the highest height you fell off from or jumped off from?
Around 20 feet high.
20. That's pretty high.
Yeah. So roughly like
That's like 6-7 meters.
about say about 7-8 meters is where she was the highest point. She made it up
Good
about.
effort.
She made it close to halfway up the tallest wall.
Sorry, the tallest wall's twice that.
Yeah.
Oh no!
Yeah.
No! No! No!
Yeah. Yeah.
And-
The pool itself is 20 feet deep, so they made it so about 8-meter deep pool.
Wow.
Yeah.
And somebody actually fell off the top of the highest one because I topped it.
Nice, man. Right? Do you enjoy deep water soloing then?
Yeah.
I did. I can't. I don't like jumping off high things into water. It freaks me out. I like the climbing part and I can do the swimming part, but jumping off high things, man, you are already braver than I am. Cool. So yeah, like I want to say thank you to both of you for joining me for this. So yeah, like I was saying, you guys are our first international guests. This is awesome. I often wonder. We can look at the stats and stuff for where people are listening to us from, and there's quite a lot actually from the States listening in. So it's really cool to hear from a couple of people that have at least listened to a couple. But yeah, awesome. Thank you very much for joining us. This is really cool. Our audience can forgive us if there's any weird, dodgy connections over Zoom and stuff. Like you said, you guys are from all the way over in Virginia, and I'm stuck here in what is usually rainy but sunny today, Scotland. So yeah, the reason I wanted to speak to you guys, I'm going to try and not give it totally away here, is I only ever speak to people on this podcast who, to be honest, I want to speak to, people who I think are really cool, people who have done some cool things, and I want to hear the stories. And I saw, Sophia, your dad's video that you put up on the Facebook. How much editing did you do on that? Or was it all down to your dad?
It was on my dad.
All your dad? Nice.
Yeah.
So you've got a staff member there to do all your bidding.
Chauffeur, staff member, everything. Yeah.
Yep. That's what you signed up for.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, I saw the video and I thought it was awesome. I thought it was sick. The video quality was amazing. It's one of the best videos I've seen of that particular route, but just the whole adventure looked so cool. And then I read about how old you are, and my mind got a little blown. And then I heard about the challenge, or why you were doing it, what the reason behind the climb was. And I thought that was just so mega cool. It blew my mind, and I was like, I need to have this girl on the podcast. That has to happen. So before we get into the story, I've got a question. Did you actually manage to avoid all of the seabirds, or did you get puked on at least once?
I managed to avoid all of them, but yeah, and I almost got puked on.
How close was it?
Very, very close. It was while I was abseiling down.
Oh, that's the worst one.
Yeah.
Did it actually throw up, or was it just giving it the
No.
noises?
It was giving you like the 2-second warning, and like right before it, there's this like little ledge, so I like paused for a little bit because I was scared, and like when I went down, it gave me the 2-second warning, but I was like going as fast as I could.
That is a good call. Yeah. How about you, David? Did you fall foul?
No, so I actually didn't do any of the climbing.
Oh, were you just on the? Oh,
yeah. So she was with a guide all by herself.
2 guides.
Yeah.
Oh.
So I was on the cliff side.
He was doing the videoing.
Yeah, opposite of it, and just doing the videoing.
That was going to be one of my questions: is who did the video? Because that's sick.
Yeah,
right.
No, that was me. I did the video, and she did all the hard work.
Does that? What I'm hearing there is you're already better than your dad, Sophia.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I like how there was no hesitation there whatsoever. So yeah, let's start from the beginning. Tell me a little bit about sort of both of you. How long you've been climbing from? Where it all started? Yeah, let's hear from both of you. Actually, I'm intrigued.
Okay. Yeah. So I was climbing a lot when I was young. So when I was a kid, early '90s, mid '90s, in the States, there were not many climbing gyms, but we happened to be in an area in North Carolina where there was a local small homegrown gym.
Yeah.
And we did a bunch of climbing and loved it. Never did any outdoor climbing as a kid, all indoor. And fell in love with it, but then, I got older, went to school, got jobs, found my wife and kind of moved on and didn't climb for years. And then we had kids, we had Sophia, and we took her down to, she was 7 years old, 7.5. And we took her down to a theme park in Florida, and they had one of those little fun walls.
Oh,
that
yeah.
had like the four sides to it, and she could tell you about that.
Yeah, I flashed the first one really easily, and the person who was belaying me said to my parents, "Does she climb?" And my parents was like, "No." And then he was like, "Can she climb another one?" And my parents were like, "Yeah." And then I flashed the rest.
You flashed all of them?
Yeah.
Good effort.
Yeah. So at 7 years old,
7.5.
7.5. She had, we had done other sports and she had enjoyed them, but nothing to run home about. And we saw her climbing, and she at 7, zero fear going, 25 feet up in the air. Never have done it before. So we said, okay. And we went home, took her to a gym. First day we were at the gym, we spent me and her about 6 hours at the gym, and she would not want to come off the wall. So that same summer, she did a summer camp, did a bunch of climbing, loved it. One of the coaches at the gym saw her and said, hey, she should try out for team. She tried out for the team, and she's that was the start of her climbing journey. I mean,
nice.
She's been competitive climbing since then.
Yeah.
So you loved it like immediately?
I really did.
Nice. What was it about it? Remind me again. Sorry, how old were you when you started?
7.5.
7.5. And what was it back then that made you go, oh, this is cool?
I liked how it could, there's different routes and, how it...
Challenged you?
Yeah, how it challenged me.
So you like just getting challenged?
Yeah.
Yeah. And when did the outdoor things start then? Because obviously you started kind of indoors and pulling on plastic. When did the outdoor thing start?
About a year and a half later.
Right, cool.
So when I was 9.
Right.
Yeah, so we unfortunately don't live anywhere close to any really amazing outdoor climbing. We've got a place about an hour from us where actually is the closest gym to us as well. They have an outdoor...
Second closest now.
Yeah, they have an outdoor... There's a park with an outdoor kind of man-made, not really. It was a train track bridge that was built with stone.
Yeah.
And it was abandoned. So the hillside that was, shored up by the stone, and then the stacks that were built with stone, they turned into rock climbing walls.
Yeah.
So,
we've got a couple of them over here as well.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So, and those were really fun. We started there. We did that 2-3 times. And then, we come over to the UK to visit my wife's family. All of her family's still in the UK. They moved over here when she was real young. And we've been going over there since before the kids. So we go over as often as we can. But the last year when we went over, she was into climbing. We said, hey, let's find a place to climb. We learned that the UK has a lot of climbing, which we did not know before. And we just started looking into places.
Cool.
And my wife's from Bristol. So you got Avon Gorge in Bristol.
Yeah.
Which was very popular. We actually haven't climbed there yet. We tried to climb there, but the guide that we wanted to use for her wasn't available there, and we were happening to vacation in Snowdonia in Wales.
Yeah.
And that's where he had time available. It was the same days we were there. So we ended up rock climbing there for the first time. That was her first big outdoor climb.
Nice.
Yeah.
What a place to do it.
Mm-hmm.
That's sick.
Thank you.
So whose idea was it to go outside? Was it your dad's idea, like, I'm going to show you something cool, or were you like, I want to go try that thing?
Both.
Bit of both.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I think I introduced it to her, and then she's been ever since then. She's the one who asks now, when are we going outdoor climbing again?
I used to ask the exact same questions of my dad.
Mm-hmm.
You know, my dad would give me the choice the weekend. What do you want to go do? I'm like, cool. I've got a list of routes. Let's go.
Yeah.
Is that what you've got now? Have you got a big list of routes that you want to do?
Not a big list. I do have a list though.
Okay. Any big routes on it?
Yeah.
Like what? Give me one.
There's one in the UK that's called the Devil's Slide.
Ah, down at Lundy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that looks amazing. I've not done that either. I really want to do it.
Yeah. It looks really, really fun.
Yeah. I think it's maybe a little easier than the big adventure you've just done, but so cool.
Mm-hmm.
Sliding straight off down into the sea.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully not sliding straight off down into the sea.
Yeah.
So what kind of outdoor climbing have you done so far? It's kind of mostly sport out where you guys are, or is there a good mix of trad climbing, bouldering?
So a lot of bouldering.
A lot.
Close to us.
Yeah, there's a lot of bouldering close to us. So yeah. I haven't done trad climbing yet though.
Well,
all right.
Yeah, you haven't set any trad routes yet.
I haven't set any. I've climbed on them, of course.
Of course.
Of course.
You say yet. How long is it going to be before you step up?
Maybe 2 to 3 years.
Ooh. So you're going to learn a lot first.
Yeah.
It's good to hear. Good to hear. Trad climbing's a big game. It's nice to hear that you can be sensible about it.
Yeah. We're
Nice.
not gonna dive off that deep end yet.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah.
But you've got ambitions that's what you want to do. That's really cool. There's not a lot of little girls your age that are psyched on getting into the trad climbing thing. How many kids your age outdoor climb with you, or in the places that you go climbing?
So I went climbing with my friend outdoors. And she brought her other 2 friends. So I've been outdoor climbing with 6 people before.
Cool.
6 kids my age.
Nice. That's a good team.
Yeah, including my little brother.
How old's your little brother?
He is 6.
Ooh, that's not far away from you. You're going to have to put some effort in so he doesn't beat you.
Mm-hmm.
My little brother he's 5 years younger than me, and that's all I did when I was younger was try and not be beaten by him.
Every time I do something, he's like, I'm going to get 1 more than you.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I know that one well. Yeah, you're going to have to try really hard.
Yeah.
And how about you, David? Like, how big a comeback has this been for you? Or are you kind of just taking it easy, having some family time, enjoying getting back into it slowly? Or have you got a big list of projects as well?
No, it started with taking it easy. I mean, right now the toll on me is getting her to the places she needs to get to do these climbs.
Yeah.
I mean, the planning behind it and the scheduling and the travel and all that is quite enough for me for now. But she's definitely pushing me. I mean, every time she climbs, every time she works out, or every time she practices, she's begging me to come with her. And she wants to get me on the wall, and I think there's a future in it for me at some point. Not right this second, but she's. I don't think she'll let up.
Oh no.
No.
You're in this whether you like it or not now.
Yeah, I think so. So, no, I'd like to get back into climbing. I do enjoy it, and I love seeing her climb. It's awesome.
Sophia, is it just not the best thing to do with your dad?
Is it not the best thing to go climbing with us?
Yes, it is.
Yes.
That was a big long pause there. You'd be like, I thought you were going to cut your dad down and be like, no, I like climbing with other people. He's just the chauffeur. Just the taxi driver, man.
Mm-hmm. Well, right now I'm the dedicated belayer, which I think she enjoys, having the dedicated belayer.
It's nice having a dedicated belayer. I wish I still had a dedicated belayer. That would be nice. Mm-hmm. This challenge that you did, we're going to dive into it now. Taking on a challenge like this it's quite a big deal for a lot of people. The route that you chose is very high up there on most people's tick lists. It's a big route that everybody kind of wants to do. But even taking on trad climbing in the UK can be a bit of a scary concept. It's definitely a lot, because it's short and hard, it's a bit more intense than some of the stuff you get out in the States. We don't have the big walls and stuff that you guys have got. So how much experience on kind of British trad climbing did you get before taking on this challenge? Obviously, you said you started doing stuff in Wales, and you come over every year to visit family. How much stuff have you done out here?
Outdoor climbing, I've only done the 2.
Oh, right.
England.
Cool.
So, indoor, I don't even know how much. It's just a lot.
We haven't done indoor trad. But last year, what was the climb you did?
Last year?
Yeah.
Oh, it was Idwal Slabs in Wales.
Nice. That's a good tick.
Yeah. So that was I think that was about a 5-pitch climb.
And how hard is that?
I mean,
it's definitely easier than the Old Man Ahoy.
So was the Old Man Ahoy? Did it feel like did you feel coming into it that it was going to be a big challenge for you? Were you like, it's easy. I've done loads of indoor climbing. I am super strong. This is going to be easy. It's just going to be a nice, easy day out.
Both, really.
A bit of both.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a scary route, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a really scary route. Especially with the killer birds.
Especially with the killer birds. The killer fulmars. And what was it like walking over that, when you walk from Ratwick along the little path and you start to get the glimpse of the top of it, and it just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger the closer you get? What did that feel like?
Scary, because I thought from far away it looked tall, it looked smaller, and once I got closer it got bigger and bigger, and I was just like, oh no.
It just keeps getting bigger, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, we saw it on the ferry coming over into Orkney.
Yeah.
First saw it on the ferry, and at the distance where the ferry was at and the angle you were at, I mean, it looked impressive, but nowhere close to what it looked like when we got there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really cool going past on that ferry, but it's a different thing looking at it with the ocean behind it. So we've given it away. Your big challenge was the Old Man Ahoy, which is amazing. Like, the Old Man Ahoy is one of the biggest tick list routes ever. Everybody that is into trad climbing over here somewhere has that on their list. Most people will never get the opportunity to do it because it's just that little bit out there. But for you guys to come all the way over from the States and get that in the bag is awesome. So what made you choose the Old Man as your challenge route?
Well, me and my dad were looking at so we were going, and my dad was like, let's do some outdoor climbing. And I was like, sure. And so we looked at some good climbs in England, and we saw that the Old Man Ahoy. And my dad was like, this looks really cool. Do you want to climb this? And I was like, of course I do. And then we just
I was asking more so one day, like in the future. Let's. I don't know if she misunderstood me
I
or whatnot. I was not imagining this trip that we were going to do the Old Man Ahoy.
And then I was like, come on, can we please do it?
Yeah.
And then my dad was like, finally, like, sure.
So I told her I'd look into it, and
Finally said yes.
Yeah, planning and scheduling it, coming from the States, weather-wise, travel-wise, was quite difficult. I mean, we lucked out big time. Big time. I mean, you mentioned the video, and the day we had was unbelievable.
Gorgeous.
Yeah.
Gorgeous. A nicer day than when I did it, for sure.
Yeah. Our guide said the same thing. He's climbed it, I think, 2 other times.
No, 3.5 other times.
And he said he's never had a day like that before.
Oh, that's awesome. And so you picked the route while you were still in the States?
Yeah.
And then you came over here with that goal in mind, or at least Sophia came over here with that goal in mind.
Yeah. I mean, pretty much what happened was last year after we after Snowdonia, she was begging to go on outdoor climb, and we had already had our next year family trip planned to visit family, and I said I will start looking. So our guide Alex, he's with Head On Out. Ed with Head On Out. He's got a website, and that's where we started looking. He's got destination climbs and stuff like that. And, on the back of the main page is Old Man Ahoy. As you said, it's a big tick for most people. It's it just grabs attention. And we saw that, and I thought it was amazing. It just looked ridiculous, and I said, "Hey, so
it is.
Oh, it absolutely is." And I was telling her, I said, "Hey, would you like to climb this one day?" And she's like, "Absolutely." And right after that, she was like, "Let's go climb that." And I said, "One day, sure." And
I was like, "No."
She's like, "No, let's go next year." And
you let the cat out the bag there, buddy.
I in a million years never would have imagined she would have agreed to doing that at 9 years old.
Oh, that's crazy. So you don't get many rock features like that in Virginia, I'm guessing.
No.
So before your dad showed you that photo, had you ever seen anything like that, like a sea stack like that?
No, I didn't. I don't think I even knew those things existed.
Sea cliff climbing, but I think it's because the UK is a small island. We have limited rocks, so we do a lot of sea cliff climbing. Yeah. The sea cliff climbing is fantastic, but it's a lot of all we've got really. Whereas I don't think sea cliff climbing gets done all that much in the States.
No,
not that I know of. No.
I think we have a limited number that what we have. I don't think we have that many sea cliff climbing.
Yeah, I mean the only sea cliffs I can even think about would be on the West Coast.
Yeah, I'm the same, and I can't think of any sea stacks like that exist.
No,
there must be, but maybe not that have been climbed on. So that's really cool. This brand new thing that you saw on the back of a book. I'm gonna go do that.
Yeah,
I mean that's a really old school attitude. That's where all of the legendary old school mountaineers, they just saw pictures in books from National Geographic and were like, "Cool, I'm gonna go stand on top of that thing."
Yeah,
that's a really cool attitude. Why did you choose to do this adventure? I hear that you've got a fundraiser going on, but was this the route to start the fundraiser, or did the idea for doing the route come before the fundraiser?
The route came before the fundraiser.
Cool.
So yeah.
So it's just a happy coincidence.
Yeah.
Nice. That's really cool, because that means you wanted to go and do this amazing route for yourself, just for you and your climbing. That's really cool. That's definitely a wild adventure. So tell me about the route. You got to the edge of the crag. You've seen this big thing sticking out of the ocean. How did you feel when you got to the edge of that thing?
I looked up and I was like, that's taller than I thought it was going to be. So.
It is really tall, isn't it?
Yeah, especially when you're standing like right at the beginning of the thing and you're looking up and it's like a lot. It's like taller than you thought it would be.
Yeah. I wonder how many Sophias stacked on top of one another would be the height of the old man. We'll have to work that out.
Mm-hmm.
That would be a lot of me's.
A lot of yous, yes.
Like 400,556.
We'll do the math. I'll put the math in the description for this.
Yeah, we'll have to do the math. I like
it. And you can agree with me or disagree with me here, but for me, when I did it, the scariest part of the whole thing was walking down to the base of it.
That was one of the scariest things.
That path is scary, right?
Yeah, actually one of my guides almost fell off the cliff because the bird started squawking at us and we just like ducked really quickly. And I wasn't used to it, so like one of the guides like literally pulled me down. And I was just like, okay. And then everybody just slipped a little bit down. So
yeah. It's a pretty gnarly path. It's falling apart and it's got very slippy grass.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely scared. Did you get a warning about the seabirds before you went?
Definitely.
Yeah, you did. Good. So you were ready for them.
Yeah.
Nice. I think the first time I went sea cliff climbing and had to deal with the birds, my dad did not tell me about birds. My dad chose to keep that one quiet.
Did you get puked on?
To this day, I have never been sicked on. I don't know how I've avoided it. There was one moment, and you might have had this moment as well, when I was climbing the Old Man Ahoy. I've popped my hands up on this ledge, I'm looking at a bird that's over there. I've popped my hands up on this ledge, and I'm looking at the bird, and I've pulled up, and I looked forward, and there's the bird. Right here. I don't know how I didn't get sicked on. Did you find that? Did you get a moment like that?
Actually, yeah, there were like, I wasn't looking at a bird, but I was just climbing and on the ledge. So my guide went first. My other guide went first a little for this part, but on the ledge, there were four birds. My guide thinks that the parents were out getting food, and they were just like big babies or like teenagers and haven't learned how to fly yet, because when we went up, they never squawked at us. So because my guide says that when they're learning how to fly, they're also learning how to throw up on you.
Right. Okay.
So my guide thinks that they didn't know how to yet. So
nice.
I was really lucky on that moment. Yeah.
You got away with it. Nice. Maybe you're the bird whisperer. Maybe you have a secret talent and you can whisper to all the birds and tell them not to be sick on you.
Well, I did go really fast and I scraped my knee while climbing really fast to get past them. So
it's a trophy. Scrapes and bumps and bruises are trophies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the sad part was that's the exact spot I almost got puked on when I was abseiling down. So,
oh, right. So was it one of those guys that tried to puke on you on the way down?
I think it was the parent.
Ah. Mummy's come home and she's going to get you. Yeah, okay. So tell me about the climb. How was it for you?
It was fun and scary at the same time. The hardest part, I would say, would be getting out of the crack. Because, like, you had no feet holds.
Yeah.
And in the video, I think you saw how I had, like, no feet holds and was just, like, smearing and, like, swung.
Really impressive. You climbed that a lot smoother than I climbed that. Slightly jealous. Would you consider coaching me after this?
Sure.
So that was the hardest part, was getting out of that crack. I think that was the hardest part for me as well. But you definitely made it look a lot easier. It's really fun though, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like one of the funnest outdoor climbs I've ever climbed. In my opinion, for my dad, I think my dad was most surprised that I didn't take on the rope. Like I didn't sit in the rope at all.
Did you not sit in it once?
No.
That is seriously impressive. That's a hard
yeah.
climb. That's a really hard climb. Well done.
It's a long climb too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
3 hours and 45 minutes to go up and down.
3 hours and 45 minutes?
Yeah.
Well, you've beaten me. It took me 6 hours. And how was the rest of it? How did you find the rest of the climb?
I definitely found it easier than getting out of the crack. But there was a couple parts where it was a little difficult, and then especially near the birds, it was difficult because you had to go really fast.
I remember after the bit with the crack, the next 2 pitches, I remember it being quite slopey and a bit green and slidey and quite soft rock. So definitely, I was leading, so it was quite scary. How did you find those bits? Were they easy?
It was a little slippery, but not at the same time. Probably because it didn't rain a lot.
Right.
So.
Yeah.
I think we had like they said it hadn't rained for like 2 weeks out there, and the rock had quite a bit of time to dry up, which
and it was so dry that every time I grabbed a hold near the bottom, like when I was climbing up from the bottom, every time I grabbed a hold, dust fell in my eyes. And I'm just like, you're kidding me.
That's just climbing the old man ahoy. That's what it's all like.
Yeah.
You're basically climbing a slightly more solid sandcastle.
Like sand rock. Like a sand rock sandcastle.
It's almost like it's sandstone.
That's what I mean, sandstone. Yeah. It's like a sandstone sandcastle.
Yeah.
I remember the coolest part for me was the last pitch when you're climbing up that corner and then all of a sudden you can see daylight through it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
That was wild to me. I was excited but slightly scared knowing how thin the thing actually was peering through this crack.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the first sunlight I saw was like the tiniest crack ever, and then once I got up it got bigger and bigger and I was like, oh no.
I reckon one of those cracks you could squeeze through.
Yeah. Definitely. The saddest thing was that the book was on the other side of where we ended. Like we had to cross we ended on one side, you know how like it splits?
Yeah.
We ended on one side and the book was on the other side. And we had to cross the crack. That was like the scariest moment, I think, for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because we were...
The little gap at the top, because it's a bit of a step up, isn't it?
Yeah. And like, when we did it, we weren't clipped in. There was just one guide behind us that was holding me. And if you fell, you were like going across, and the guide was here, and you were going across, you would fall like diagonal, like swing and like bump into the rock.
Definitely would not be fun.
Yeah.
And what was it like standing on top of that?
Scary and fun, knowing that I did that.
Fun, scary. I love the term fun, scary. Most of what I do in life is fun, scary. It's great. Mm-hmm. Was it windy at the top?
Yeah.
Was it cold then?
No, not really. It was only cold when it was in the shade.
Ah, right. Well, I remember when I did it, it was really windy on the top, and we wanted to hang about a little bit and enjoy being up there, but it was so cold, I just wanted to get down.
Yeah, and the view was like really pretty.
Yeah. Did the boat go past?
Oh yeah.
Nice.
And there were these boat rafts that had 10 people in them, and there were around 8. So there was like 80 people watching and pointing at me and my guides climbing it. And they're like, look at them climb!
That's it. You're famous now. You are all over Facebook. Everybody's Instagram page has got a photo of you as a tiny little dot on this big thing. Yeah, like, did you write in the book? Did you find the book?
Yeah.
Ah. What did you write in the book?
Well, my guide helped me write it, but I wrote Sophia Wood, the youngest girl to climb at age 10, and I said it was amazing.
Nice.
Around those words, so.
The youngest girl to have climbed the Old Man Ahoy. I have definitely not heard of anybody younger. I know the youngest boy, but I have not heard of a younger girl for sure. I think you might have that title. That's super cool.
Yeah.
We need to get your face in the Guinness World Records book. And what was your celebration thing on the top?
Jumping and then being like, I should not jump because I don't want to fall.
I had lunch. That was my celebration thing.
We had lunch on the we had lunch in between two pitches.
Ah, nice.
So yeah, because my guides just wanted to go down from the top. They didn't want to hang out at the top.
For you, David, how was it sitting on the, I was going to say on the mainland, on Hoy, watching your daughter taking on this mega adventure?
You know, I'm always more scared watching the video back than I was that day. I think I was more focused on just getting the video.
Yeah.
So the craziest thing that happened was, so the battery almost died, and if it died, the drone would go in the water, and we would lose all our video.
No.
And it was like beeping at my dad, like, come back. And my dad was like, no, I need to get the whole shot of them standing on the whole thing. And then, luckily, it did not fall. Like, we were like, it was like at 1%, I think. So.
Yeah, it was close.
Very, very close.
But yeah.
Oh, you're playing with fire there, sir.
I know. It was, I didn't account for how windy it was going to be, which, while filming with
how windy it would be because
while filming with the drone, it definitely takes the battery down quite a bit. Having to stabilize in the wind, but
because the drone has to stay in one place,
yes.
And when the wind pushes it, it has to have more battery to stay in its place.
Yes, but honestly, the whole time, I know up on the cliffs, my wife and I and my son, I think we were talking about, like, shouldn't we be scared she's doing this? And I believe most of our conversation was like, I can't believe this worked out and we're even here doing this right now. I mean,
yeah,
it was a logistic nightmare to be able to even get there and plan this, and so we were just kind of blown away by, the scenery, the island itself, the trip to get there. So all that kind of just had us in a very surreal feeling.
Yeah.
And then we just trust her climbing anyways. Gotta be able to trust it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And you were in very safe hands.
I believe so.
For sure. Very safe hands.
Yes.
But yeah, like it is a beautiful place to be, but it must be quite a surreal experience watching your daughter doing this thing that just looks mental, crazy. So very cool experience sitting on that shoreline. I'm sure.
Yeah. No, it's it was definitely intense, and it was like I said, mostly surreal. Just couldn't believe she was doing it, and couldn't believe
we made it.
We made it there, and it was happening. So it was, like I said, watching the video back, it scares me 10 times more than
How does it scare you 10 times more?
Just watching you do it.
Yeah, I bet you. So yeah, it gets pretty windy in Orkney, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Definitely very wet. So you guys are super, super lucky to get the weather that you did. The video just made it look like the perfect day.
It really was. I mean, honestly, it looked better in person too. I mean, it was just, it was very dry. We had no rain the whole time we were there.
Wow.
No rain. It was super dry.
No rain the entire 3 days we were there.
Yeah, while we were up there.
That's impressive for Orkney. Orkney is quite a soggy place most of the time. Yeah. Apologies to any of our listeners that are from Orkney.
it was gorgeous though. It really was.
Yeah. What did you do on Orkney when you were there? Did you stay there for a little bit and see some things, or was it just a quick stop off?
One of the days we were able to explore around.
Nice.
Yeah.
And we went puffin hunting. You know, we were we wanted to see some puffins. So
my dad really was like, he's never seen a puffin in person, and he was like, I'm determined to see a puffin in Orkney. And so we went on this hike, and there were like 30 puffins in the water.
Nice.
So,
yeah.
And then while I was climbing, there were like a lot of puffins flying by. It was really
Did you get dive bombed by a puffin?
No.
Like they were dive bombing me the whole time. They were coming like really close past my head. I don't even know if they knew I was there, but they were getting really close.
Well, they didn't get that close, but they did get really, really close. Like, they were like a meter away from me and my guide.
I mean, that's pretty close.
That's pretty close.
Yeah.
Well, that was only like 3 times. And for some reason, they kept circling Hoy, the element of Hoy.
Wouldn't you if you could fly?
Yeah.
That's all I would do.
Yeah. And on one of the hikes that we did back on Orkney, one of the locals was, I guess, bird watching, and we were talking with him, and he said we just missed a pot of one of the killer whales.
Orcas. Yeah.
Orcas, thank you. Just missed a pot of orcas the day before, and they happened to be at Hoy, so we could have seen them over by the Old Man of Hoy, and we could have seen them where we were on Orkney. We missed them by 1 day.
Oh man,
I know. That would have been cool to see too.
Just means that you got to come back over.
Absolutely.
The lucky thing is we got to see seals and puffins.
Nice. 2 of the coolest things. So this fundraiser that you've got going just now, where did the idea come from? In fact, tell me, what is the fundraiser? This is your chance to plug it.
So, we did a fundraiser for this club called the Boys and Girls Club. This year, if we're gonna take some of the kids or all the kids in the Boys and Girls Club to a rock climbing gym and show them rock climbing.
Cool. So why? What made you decide to help doing the fundraising? Are you part of the Boys and Girls Club?
No.
So when we were researching the climb, we'd seen other climbers do fundraisers for charities.
Yeah.
And Sophia had seen that and wanted to do a charity. So we'd asked her, what's important to you? Let's do a charity that's important to you. And she said, climbing's important to me. And we said, okay. And we said, what about it? She said she wants more people, especially more kids, because a lot of kids she knows doesn't even know climbing exists.
Yeah.
So she wants more people to be exposed to climbing, more people to learn about it. So we actually researched a bunch of charities that help disadvantaged kids who would never be exposed to climbing or even learn about it, kind of be introduced to it and be able to experience climbing. And most of those groups were on the west coast of the U.S. or in the U.K. or somewhere in Europe. Didn't have any charity like that on the East Coast. So while we were trying to figure that out, we ended up stumbling upon the idea of partnering with the local Boys and Girls Club which is a non-for-profit in the U.S. that supports local boys and girls during the school year, during the summer, with a place to go and activities and things.
Cool.
So we decided to get with them, and we're going to be scheduling, field trips for them to go to a climbing gym, and through the money we raise, be paying for them to climb for a day and learn about climbing.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Like, that's so cool.
Mm-hmm.
And has it closed already, or is it still open for donations?
No. It's still open.
Still open. Cool.
I think we've raised close to $850.
What?
For the event, and I think it'll be open through the summer. We're trying to schedule the first trip sometime in the beginning of August, and then
so not far away then.
No, not far away. We're hoping we can do multiple days. I mean, there's lots of boys and girls groups in the area that hopefully will want to take advantage of this and go for a day of climbing.
That's amazing. So, answer me this then, Sophia. Is this just so that you can end up having more climbing friends than your dad's got?
No.
That helps, though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a really good reason to get people into climbing. My job is getting kids into climbing just so that when I'm old and grey, I've got lots of belayers. So we're on the same wavelength here. Yeah. And so what's have you got a target for how much you want to raise?
I mean, we set. I think the fundraiser itself has like a $1,500 target. That's right. That's really not a hard set target.
Cool.
It's really, I mean, the more money we raise, the more kids we could take.
We're aiming really for any amount of money. We want to take kids to climbing.
Yeah.
That's a really cool idea. Really cool idea. So it's just going to be an ongoing thing now. So have you got, obviously the Old Man Ahoy is a really cool way to kick this off. I don't think you could have possibly chosen a better route to kick this off. But have you got other climbs in line to keep building on the momentum, or have you got a first climb that you'd want to take kids to?
I would probably take kids to an indoor gym, or there's this there's an outdoor place in Virginia that is really fun.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
So yeah,
and I think she's she mentioned the Devil's Slide in the UK is something she wants to do one day. But I think there's, she's looking for suggestions on other climbs to do as well.
Hey, if you want cool climbs to do over in Scotland, you give me a shout. I'll give you a not so small list. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, we definitely want to explore Scotland and Wales and England a lot more. With the climbing, that's our favorite thing. It takes us to places we never thought we would go.
Yeah, it's a really, really cool sport for that, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Can't quite do the same thing with basketball.
No.
Nothing against basketball. If there's anybody listening that's into basketball, nothing against basketball. But it definitely, basketball is not going to take you to Hoy.
No, probably not.
So what does the future look like for Sophia then? Or is this you're just going to become a climbing bum now? You're going to grow up, you're going to buy a van, you're going to tour the country, climbing all these routes, or are you going to be dragging your dad up some mega climbs in the future as he goes old and grey?
Probably both.
Yes. I like how you're 10 and you're already dedicated to the van life.
Yeah.
Oh, brilliant.
She just wants to climb at this age. That's all she cares about.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think that's ever going to go away. I'm 32 and I'm still like that, man.
Yeah.
That's never going to go away.
Probably my highest goal is to be on the USA climbing and probably go to the Olympics.
Ah, so you're going to get into comps.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, I really hope I get to come and watch you at a World Cup one day.
Yeah.
I'll be in the back of the crowd going, I talked to her when she was Echo. Oh, that's cool. Have you started entering competitions already?
Yes.
Yeah.
I just did a competition for top rope.
Right, cool.
Well, competitions.
Competitions multiple.
Yeah.
Well, the top rope season ended. Well, that was the last season. That was the last competitions we did were top rope.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
And then
yeah.
bouldering season's coming up.
Cool. And are you enjoying them?
Yeah, a lot.
There's a question. Which one do you enjoy more? Or this might be an impossible question to answer. Which one do you enjoy more, indoors or outdoors?
Oh,
Oh, that's a hard question, isn't it?
So I think outdoors, because it has more possible ways you could go. So, yeah, because indoors is it's one route. You have to go up this way.
Yeah.
Like, that's the beta. And then for outdoors, there's multiple.
I like that. That's a good answer. And how about you, David? What's in the cards for you?
Chauffeuring her around to competitions and and faraway destinations for climbing. No, I'd like to. I look forward to watching her climb, and in the future, I look forward to. I can only predict that one day she's going to ask me to do a 3-day climb on El Cap, and I won't climb it. I'll be the belayer, and I forget the device that takes you up the rope. That you
can jug up the ropes.
I'll just jug up the ropes and set up the tents on the side of the cliff and watch her climb. But I'm willing and scared, but looking forward to a future of doing stuff like that.
Man, you guys are going to have such a crazy adventure with David, you suggesting routes for some long time in the future, and Sophia deciding that that's happening this year.
Oh, yeah.
You are going to get thrown at some mega adventures, my man.
Yeah, the first question we usually get asked when she's telling people about the climb is how are you going to top that? You know, what do you got to do next? And I was, again, it would have been great to do this climb 10 years from now, as a pinnacle of her climbing career instead of the start. But it definitely puts us on a pretty high trajectory.
Yeah, a pretty high trajectory. It opens up so many doors to go and do so many cool things. El Cap is now. I mean, your dad said it, so it's on the list.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, she talks about it constantly.
It's high on my list as well. I would love to, but there's so many cool routes out there, and there's so many different types of climbing as well. Is there any type of climbing that you would like to try?
Well, my favorite type of climbing is bouldering. I'm really, really good at bouldering.
Yeah.
So.
Is there a different type that you haven't done that you'd like to try?
Trad.
Trad the next goal.
Yeah.
There's another type she keeps asking to do.
What?
Ice climbing.
Oh yeah, ice climbing. I forgot that.
Right. If and when you get into ice climbing, you come back over here and we'll go out and we'll smash some proper Scottish mixed climbing.
Yeah. Yeah, she every time we watch a video, she's like, I want to go ice climbing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's really cool how you have the shoes that have spikes on the bottom, and then you just have these pickaxes that you could and destroy the ice, being
Yeah.
Yeah. Ice climbing is wild. Do you like being cold?
Yeah. But I probably would have 20 layers on.
You and my partner are weird people. She loves being cold. I hate being cold. I like the climbing part, but yeah, there's some really cool winter climbing to be done in the States as well. Some really cool stuff. But some proper gnarly stuff is over here. So when you get into winter climbing, you guys get back over here and hang out with me for a weekend.
Oh, I'll take you up on it for sure.
You do that. Brilliant. Well, I think, we've ticked a whole hour there. That's awesome. Thank you again very much for doing this, guys. Seriously appreciate you coming on. I'm glad to see that the Zoom worked, so I think we've actually got a podcast here that's going to work.
No,
Thank you for being my first international guest. And Sophia, thank you for being a little inspiration, because to watch you climb that thing way better than I climbed that thing, and to know that you didn't sit in the rope once is impressive. I'm going to say I'm slightly jealous, but it's impressive. And to hear that you're doing this to fundraise to get more kids climbing out in the States, that's awesome. That's such a cool reason to do things. Seriously impressed. I am inspired.
Thank you.
No problem. How was the interview for you? How did you find it?
Great.
Yeah? Well, you're going to have to get used to it. If you're going to become a famous climber, this is it. This is going to be your life.
This is it.
It's like endless interview after interview with climbing mixed in between.
Yeah. Well, thanks for having us on. It was fun.
Thank you.
How cool is that? How cool is Sophia? That is awesome. To take on the old man Ahoy at 10 years old, it is crazy. And her dad for suggesting it, even crazier, but I absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. So inspired by this story. And to hear that she's trying to raise money to get young kids from disadvantaged backgrounds and give them a taste of climbing is so cool. So cool. Good luck to her. Can't wait to see what Sophia gets up to in the future. But I know that whatever she's going to get up to, you can be sure she's out there in the States doing her buddy checks.